Hello, Crafting here, and I am going to show you how to make a custom weapon. Now, this will not include a guide on how to actual code like new attributes. That could be a separate video, but it does require knowledge of source pawn and I believe C++, if I'm correct. This will just show you how to do just using all the official attributes in the game and some that have already been made by the community. So we're going to use two files, or do two different weapons, the Afterburner, and that has been shown on the YouTube, and this hasn't been, sadly, but this is only part of it, the survival gear. But like I say, let's first go and do the Afterburner first. Now, for I start, be sure to have annotations turned on, because I may have some pop-ups with links to they may not be actual clickable, but at least you'll be able to see in the video, and you'll see that, and they'll be in the description, because there's a couple of very useful websites and links to actual files on your own computer that you can use for information. So let's get started. So the first thing so this is pretty much a basic file for a weapon. So we're just going to start at the very top and just work our way down. So first is the first line here is what you'll actually see when you do /C whenever you bring up your weapon. Whatever you have right here, like if I have this and like say test or whatever, that's what you'll see. The next thing is classes, and then what's in this bracket is what class it will be for. So say power. If you want this to be a multi-class weapon, what you'd do is I usually just copy and just paste, just so this all the quotes are in a nice straight lines organized, and you'll put whatever, like say scout, or and then blah blah blah, whatever after that. So and then what goes right here is what slot, or basically as in primary, secondary, melee, and then technically PDAs, for engineer and spy. And actually starts with 0. You think it'd start with like 1, 2, and 3 for primary, secondary, melee, but actually starts with 0. So pretty much all classes do 0, 1, and then 2, and then engineer, spy have technically 4, 5, and I think 6. But I'll show you. There's a sheet that goes with that, which basically goes with this next one, which is the base class and index. There's a very good website that we're going to go to, which is the TeamFortress 2 item index. I'm sorry, definition index, in which you can see there's the slots I just mentioned. So let's go to Pyro. Let's see, where is he or she? And what you'll do is where you see base index. Well, pretty much every weapon has this TF underscore weapon underscore and then a name. What you do is that's where you'd copy that. Now, if there's two words, like for the band melter, you'd copy both of these little words with the underscore under. And the next one is the actual number, the actual index number. So we got a flamethrower, and oops, I am skipping part out there, sorry. There's flamethrower and number 21. So you do 21 right here. You do 21 right there. The next is if you want bots to randomly spawn. Bots normally have a set percentage chance to spawn at 15%. That can be changed through the value on the plugin itself. But if you don't have this, bots will automatically spawn, have the chance to automatically spawn. If you set this to 0, it's the same as if you don't have it. If you do not want bots to spawn, set it to 1. The next is the quality of the weapon. What I mean by quality, that means when you look at a teammate, and you have you can see you can rotate through the weapons and through cosmetics. It's that a color, like unusuals are that orange, and I'm sorry, not unusuals. Unusuals purple. Strange. I'm sorry. Orange. You can technically give them a color. This sadly was forgotten and currently is not on the plugin site where you can get the plugin. So I have it right here. Hopefully this will be included after this video is put up. But here's all the numbers. There's a couple of unused ones. But I usually use 6, which is unique, which is yellow, which is default. Stock is gray, which you could set to 0. I don't know what the default value if you don't set. I have a feeling it's probably 0 just as a stock weapon. That's my guess. Like I said, these are all the numbers right there that you could use. Next is the logo name. Logo name is when it pops up for the kill feed like in your console. Basically, if you kill someone and you have the console open, it will basically say player X was killed. Actually, I always forget the weapons before or after. Basically, player X was killed by other player by this weapon, and it actually will say Afterburner. I'm actually unsure if you actually have 2 words. If there needs to be something here, if I do, I normally have an underscore. If the weapon's a 2-letter word, just keep it organized. I'm actually unsure if it's fine to have a space or not. So I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure. So I just put underscore just to keep it organized. So. The next thing we're going to do, if you hear a little rustling, I'm taking my headphones off, I apologize. I don't need them right now. So the next thing we're going to go through is the description. And that's pretty much in what you see, or what you'd see in that whenever you read the weapon. And also be sure that every single one of these values, even the description, have brackets, because anytime you reload the weapons, you might have an error. It should show you for what weapon, and you might figure out where it's missing. It might be down here. You might be missing a parentheses to close. But this is pretty much, there is a letter limit. I actually don't know. I think it might be 3 times the number of letters you see here, maybe 4, but there is. What happens is once you reach the letter limit, like where you see exit, like for the actual menu itself, those letters will start going away. So that's where letters are sacrificed from. So you may have to sacrifice credits, or like make the description not complete English. That's how I had to put it. I think we have maybe 3 or 4 weapons that I've had to like not include credits, or I had to like not include credits, plus make whatever I'm trying to describe in the description somewhat broken English. Just remove a word or 2 here and there to just make it fit. I don't like doing it, but I just have to. And if you actually want to make breaks, that's what these little /ns are for. This would basically make it where it basically like does it separates, like it makes 2 lines. If you actually want to have make it look like a paragraph, you do 1 there, and then you do a space bar right here, and then you do another one. That would basically make it like a paragraph separation. All right, so here is the fun part. Yes, or the attributes. Now, most, like 90% of the attributes, it's multiplying. You don't actually like set it to like additive. So I've recently cleaned up and made it where all the attributes are arranged in the order that I have them in the description. I've done that because usually I've done an update and I will change it here, but I don't change it here, or I change it here, but I don't change it here. With 110 plus weapons, something's gonna slip through. It always happens. I'm only human. It's human error. So let's just go through. So the very first one, 50% bonus after burn damage. Now, where you get all these, like all these attributes, there is a website. This right here, going full screen. This has all the official attributes in the game. Red means negative, the blue is positive. These Y ones are either neutral or they don't work. I know the one right here. Where is it? Fists have radical buff. I believe it doesn't work, which is I wish it did, because it would definitely be a heavy melee weapon, which it basically supposedly what it's supposed to do is on kill, I guess all nearby teammates get 50 health, and it increases their crit chance by 10% for, it does actually say for a set time. It just, I don't know, but it just doesn't work, sadly. And like I said, there's a lot of attributes in the game. The most recent ones I'll go and tell you are, it's usually in the bottom is the most recent, in which is right here. 787 to 794. I'm sorry, 795. Right there are the recent ones from the Meet Your Match, if I recall. I always forget the update names after like 3 days, because that's what, the names are not, important. And then a couple, even though usually towards the bottoms are always the recent, a couple of the random ones are down here. Like there's the gunslinger one they randomly added. There is the, let's see, what is the thing? Eureka effect, that was kind of randomly added. The cool thing is you can click on any of these, and it'll show you all the weapons that actually use it. So that's pretty nifty. And then you'll see a couple of these when you click on them. Let's see, if I can find one. You'll see you can click on something like, here we go. It technically doesn't show a weapon that uses it, but it does work. Like right there is the attack projectiles, which is it's the upgrade from MVM, which you can use outside of MVM. There's only a couple of MVM related upgrades that do work outside, so you just got to just apply it and mess around with it and see what works and what doesn't work. So okay, so what you do is, like I mentioned earlier, it's not actually, let's just do this. That's much better. It's not additive, it's multiplying. So let's just go ahead and just quickly just bring this guy up right here. So there you go. So you think 50%, you go, okay, I would just do a 50 here. No, technically that would be 50, actually that'd be 50 or 49 times, it's usually one less, so that'd be 49 times the afterburn. Technically, if you want, that would be 51 times. 51 the value, if that would be 50 times the value. But anyway, so you'd be 1.5 would be 50% higher. 25% longer afterburn, so do 0.25, there's burn time, okay. 50% damage. Technically, the way flamethrowers works is, this would actually be just 50%, just like less damage. But since afterburn and direct damage happens at the same time, I have to add the word direct damage, so hopefully players get the idea that it's meant the direct damage. But anyway, so damage penalty 0.5. Now here's the interesting thing is, you can actually do the damage bonus as long as something's below 1, well 1.0. If it's below 1, it's a penalty. If it's above, it's a bonus. So this could be that you could have the word here, you could have the damage bonus and do 0.5, and it works. It'll work exactly as you want it. It'll do less damage. But the problem is, if someone inspects your weapon, it will show it as the blue, but it'll be negative. So it's good to keep it matching, basically penalty for a penalty number. So next is the extinguishing teammates restores health. Now here's an example of a number that it's not an actual percentage, it's a set number in which you set 10. So 10 health. And then last, which I recently sadly just found this one out. Just guess what this does. This one in particular, I believe, does not have an actual description. Usually the second column is describing. See, this doesn't have an actual description, but it's in white. So what do you think this does? Weapon underscore allow underscore inspect. Just give it a second or two. Just anyone got a guess? Any guess? Okay, time's up. It allows you to inspect your weapon. Basically, all the skins from gunmetal and whatnot have this. So yay! I kind of should have smacked my head when I saw that. I was like, oh, you're kidding me. Something so simple. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Now, whenever I'm going to show you a second weapon that does custom attributes. But like I say, the last thing I'll mention about this right here, technically, these last three columns right here are unimportant. You don't need these, and you technically don't need need to worry about the actual number. You can use a different method. You don't have. You can actually use the numbers instead of the names, and you would not use this. But you know what? This is simple. You can actually see the number. So there's no. It's less confusion. It's best. It's whatever's simple for you to remember. Organization, however, so because you don't have to use this format. You don't have to use this it's however you want to do. So anyway, so next let's check out it's a wearable, but also has some custom attributes applied. So just a quick review. So there's the name, there's the class. It's for heavy. It's a secondary, so it'll be a 1. Now for a wearable, let's just go to this. This is actually, I believe, a Cozy Camper, because it's the only secondary wearable. It's well, technically the soldier has his backpacks, but for at least an actual wearable, you can actually give stats to make this work. So we're gonna go to, let's see, what was it? I said 640. I'm just blind. Oh, because I'm not in secondaries. I am. That's melees. There we go. Cozy Camper. I'm stupid. There we go. So, since there's not, this one in particular does not have a third, so you actually, shields are the same way. Shields are just TF_wearable. What you do is you do just wearable and then the number, because you don't leave it blank and you don't do TF_wearable. You actually just do wearable, and then there's the number. No bots, of course. Quality 6. There's the name. There's this nice long description. Now, so here are the 2 sets of attributes. Usually, I believe most of, I think there's 3 sets of custom attributes there in the starter pack for this plugin. There is the Rays, who is the one who's one of the 2 contributors, or there's technically a few others, but at least the main contributor of the CW3 Custom Weapons 3. There is his Advanced Weaponizer pack. And then there is one of the 2 packs that is from Master of XP, who made Custom Weapons 2 that he's converted into the CW3 format. There's actually a difference. If it's not CW3 compatible, it has to be put in just regular attributes, which we'll talk right there. So basically, what you have to do is, let's go through the attributes section first, or at least first, which is not CW3 compatible. So you actually have that. You need to actually have it separated, so you can see that there's quotes and there's a bracket for there to start and end. Same thing from there. Now here's a big difference. You need to have CW3 _attributes right there. Separated. Now you can have official custom attributes, like some of these right here can be with this one. That's fine. Official attributes work regardless. It's just custom attributes need to be custom attributes that are not CW3 compatible need to be separated for the ones that are compatible. So that's the reason why Charles, because that's one of our community coders, his pack is not compatible, so his has to be in here and not in separate, because it will come up as an error, and you'll see it whenever it comes up. It basically says like name is not valid, which means it's not set up correctly. Now usually whenever there's custom attributes, the value needs to be set. Usually it'll be in the their how to, or at least some instructions of what value needs to be set at. Now speaking of the value, there's the name. All official attributes are TF2 attributes. That's the name. That is because that's one of the requirements whenever you install the mod itself. You need to have that installed, because it goes to that plugin. You need the name, and then it does the actual attribute and whatnot. And there's value. And boom, there you go. Now for the actual CW3. Now here are Orion's made a very nice spreadsheet of all of his attributes. Now what we'll do is, let's bring up this, and it is in his pack, these 2 attributes, which let's find. There it is. Damage taken from backstab reduced and headshots. Now let's just bring this over. Okay. Let's do the headshot first because it's easy. Most of his stuff is usually multiplying. He'll usually set right there, multiplier. So for this one in particular, you have a 25% damage resistance to headshots. So you do 0.75. If you want a vulnerability, you do like 0.25 or higher than 1. Next is damage resistance against backstabs. And I learned that this number needs to be somewhat low. A lot of this time you have to just literally just go through and just test. Just do a number. If it doesn't work, set it lower, set it higher, and then because this took me like an hour to like get this number, like 0.0835 is 200 health. So I think this one, I think two classes, this one and the You're in Trouble, the wearable for the sniper, that removes 150 health. That took me like another hour to like get that number exactly to 150 health. But like I say, usually the coder is good on like having some form of a like guide to like values and whatnot and what it should be set, so you know how something should you know, be working, so there's no problem. Now, if you're ever curious about like what values should be set at, because I forgot to mention this earlier, which I do apologize, there is a very good there's actually a file in your TF2 game in which I will link it into the description, which I believe, I don't know if I can bring it up directly, it is in your TF game. And let's see if I can remember. Here it is. So it is located in your C drive, in your program files, Steam, steamapps, common, TF2, TF, scripts, items, and then this is called items_game. Now what this is a file that tells the game all your weapons. So let's just go to I don't know, quick fix. This is the first thing that popped in my mind. Is there a bracket? No, there isn't. Let's see. I believe there needs to be a bracket. Okay. So basically, this is what that makes the quick fix. Basically, there's the heal rate bonus. Remember, multiplying, so it'll be 1.4 for 40%. This right here tells the game like what metagun charge it needs to be. So there's that one attribute, and it has to be 2. There's the Uber charge. There's the heal rate penalty. These right here are, I have no idea. I don't mess with these. They're a thing. But this you can use this like just like do the find feature, and if you want to find a weapon in particular, like I know one in particular I was loosing around because I said loose. Messing around was like the loose cannon with that fuse time feature that they added on the recent update. So it's the loose cannon. So this is an interesting one. You can really mess around. You can change the projectile type. There's a list that that some of them work. I think flares and rockets work, but anyway, it's changed the projectile type to make sure it's the loose cannonball. There is the right there that makes it where it does the fuse. There's the does not explode. There's projectile. There's the pushback, and then there's this kill feed thing that I don't mess with. But anyway, this right here is a good file to look at if you're curious what files are normally set at, and you can use this to figure out, kind of mess around with custom weapons and figure out what it could be set up to. And I believe that's pretty much that in a nutshell. Sad part is I just realized that I skipped over one thing, which I do occasionally. Mostly this is for anyone who actually paid attention to the very end, who's curious in this stuff. There's actually 2 more values you can set right here, which I always skip over every time because I just forget, which is mag, aka the clip, and any guess? Ammo. these are actually whatever, these are not multiplying, these are actually whatever set number. Now for a flamethrower, you actually don't set the magazine because the ammo is the clip. So if you want if you want a flamethrower that has less than 200, you would set, like, let's say if you want only 100, what you'd do is you'd set 100 here, and then you need the attribute of maximum primary reduced, and you would set that to 0.5, so half. Because if you set one or the other, if you don't set this, you would spawn with whatever ammo. If it's more than 200, more than ammo, you'd spawn with it, but then if you go to a health pack, it only go up to 200 or whatever maximum ammo that whatever weapon holds. If it's a weapon that does have a clip, what would happen is if you set the clip here but not the actual clip size bonus here, you would spawn with, like, say, a shotgun, and if you have it set to like 10, you'd spawn, but then you'd automatically reload to your 10 shots. But it always have, you know, each time you fire to reload, or vice versa. If you don't set the clip size but you do the ammo bonus, each time you respawn, or at least time, you know, you would always preload. Not, I'm sorry, but I'm getting it mixed around. I do apologize. If you set your clip size bonus, and then you fire or whatnot, and you get below 6, you'll only reload up to 6, not to the 10. So you have, like I say, whatever you set here has to match whatever attributes you set down here. So, anyway. So, now I believe that's pretty much how to make a custom weapon in a nutshell. If you have any questions in general, please post them in the comments. I'll try to answer. I actually read most of my comments, but I'll try to definitely answer all of them in this video. I did skip over one or two little things, but if it does require another video, now if you need help to even set up a server to run this, I'll just put this here. I don't know why, so I have less space on the screen. If you need help to set up an actual server, there are plenty of videos out there. I mean, if I do need to make a video on how to set up a server, well, technically a local server on your own computer for your friends to connect, and then, you know, it's basically then to actually set up a real server, you know, it pretty much is the same thing. But I could make a video for that separately if it's necessary. Actual custom attributes, I know one of our community coders did do a quick little video. He did like a time lapse. It is somewhat complicated. You do need to know coding. Like I mentioned earlier, I believe C++, and source mod, and knowing the game itself to do the stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this little instructional video, and but yeah, I hope you have a good day, and I don't know what else, any more of this instructional videos I would do. I don't know, I think someone suggested for me to actually like do this on the fly, like make a video, but I feel like it's be better just to do it like on a Twitch stream, because I feel like I don't know what I'm usually it's funny, whenever I'm doing these testings, like I'm doing, like I prep a change log or a new weapon, I'm just literally quiet and just messing around, like doing attributes and seeing what works, what doesn't work, and that's pretty much what I do. I just mess around and see what's possible, what isn't possible. Because I'll just say for that loose, I'll just bring up the loose cannon. I was saying that the fuse time can be extended so the bomb can just kind of be sitting there, because I want to make like a landmine or whatever, and it didn't work. So, like I say, stuff works, stuff does work, stuff doesn't work, sadly, and you have to just kind of mess around and see what, you know, what is possible. So, all right, and I'll catch you next time.